Appetizers are the best impression you can make while entertaining. It is a perfect treat to stimulate the appetite of your hungry guests, and when I'm hosting, easy is my top priority. But don't be deceived, it has to be delicious. First, let's make some meatballs that are gonna be coated in this orange chipotle glaze. I know it sounds fancy, but it's not hard at all. Remove the crust from 3 slices of bread. I am using whole wheat, but you can also use white. Dice it up into small cubes, nothing fancy here. Pour in 3/4 of a cup of low sodium chicken broth. Mix everything well. Set it aside and let it soak for 5 minutes. Remove 1 pound of pork chorizo out of its casing and just break it apart. Add in 1/2 pound of ground pork. Chorizo has so much flavor, but it doesn't hurt to add some more. Do 1/2 a white onion finely diced and 1/4 of a bunch of cilantro finely chopped, 1 teaspoon of ground garlic, 1/2 a teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1.5 teaspoons of Mexican dry oregano. The bread looks great, just break it apart and into that bowl it goes. 2 eggs. There you go, 1 hand, that's what I'm talking about, skills. Finish it off with salt and ground black pepper. Just keep in mind the pork has salt in it. First, I'm gonna start with a spatula because it's gonna prevent me from over mixing. And then I'm gonna go in with my hands to make sure everything is well combined. Lay in a sheet pan with parchment paper, and these are amazing because they already come pre-cut. I'm gonna leave you the link to them down in the description area. Use a trigger release scoop to portion them out. If not, you can just eyeball it. Remember to keep them small, they are appetizers. Roll them up and that's it. I mean, we still have to cook them, but you get the point. I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place them in there. For the glaze, in a saucepan, combine 3/4 of a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice, 1 teaspoon of ground chipotle, 3 tablespoons of golden or regular sugar. I am using a sugar alternative, and 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Bring it up to a gentle simmer and let it cook until it slightly thickens, just like a glaze. It'll take about 15 minutes. Right before the meatballs are done, turn on the broiler on high to get a nice color all around, and also they're gonna finish cooking. Takes 5 to 8 minutes. Once it looks ready, stir in 1/2 a teaspoon of kosher salt and set it aside to slightly cool down. Transfer all of those meatballs into a bowl and look at how juicy this look. That's because they were perfectly cooked. Pour in that glaze and toss to combine to make sure those meatballs are well coated. Transfer them onto a platter. You can neatly arrange them, stack them, just make them look pretty. I'll be doing some toothpicks and sprinkling chopped cilantro for a touch of color. I really want to taste those meatballs, so let's move on to the next recipe so we can finish fast. Our blooming quesadilla rings look top notch, and so are the flavors. Start with 4 cups of already shredded and cooked chicken. I'm using a rotisserie one. Convenience as always. Add 1/2 a white onion diced, 1 tomato diced, 1 teaspoon of ground guajillo, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 a teaspoon of ground garlic, 1/2 a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/2 a cup of sour cream, 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, and salt to taste. And just mix to combine. Make sure everything is well coated. It's gonna take a beautiful color, nice and creamy, the perfect filling for these quesadillas. Set this aside and combine 12 ounces of already grated Oaxaca cheese, and I grated it myself, with 8 ounces of cheddar. Toss to combine, and that's it. Grab 12 flour tortillas and cut them in half. These are medium in size. Also grab a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, and place a ramekin right in the center. Take 1/2 a tortilla at a time. Do a little bit of cheese and spoon in the filling. Roll the tortilla in a cone starting from the cut side, and keep an eye on the filling. Make sure it stays inside. Arrange them around the ramekin. Once that first layer is done, sprinkle some cheese all around so we can make a second layer. Remove the ramekin. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake until the filling is heated through, the cheese has melted, and the edges are crispy. It will take about 15 to 20 minutes. You can serve on the sheet pan or let it slightly cool down and transfer onto a platter. Up to you. An accompaniment is a must. Salsa or pico de gallo does the trick. And here you have it. Doesn't this just look so good? All right, we heated the meatballs because they were kind of cold already. So that's very important. Serve them warm.
I was about to taste.
You're so good. Let's do this.
Man, it smells so good. Let me cherish it. Never mind.
I'm loving the sweetness from that orange. It's so delicious.
Bring me a couple of tortillas and I'll make me tacos.
I do have to say, for the chorizo, make sure you pick a good brand, like a really good tasting one, because it makes a difference.
Oh yeah. I'm into my second one.
I only get to taste it, probably have a couple of bites. All right, one more bite. These are so good.
Wow.
The full printable recipes are going to be available on viacocina.com. And enjoy. Bye.